I'll be back on videos. Let me say I'm very disappointed with what I've seen in the gaming community and what we allow in the gaming community, I should say. And man, there's just people, there's just pieces of shit. They are. And I think y'all need to know that today. Now, I've taken these people out one fell swoop before. It's time to do it again. Because it seems like when I did it before, people would just say I was hating. It's like, nah, fuck that. I showed y'all this. You know, people being bigots, people being racist. Y'all was cool with that for some reason. Because, you know, possibly you like these people. I know some of y'all online told me that, you know, I was just bitching to be bitching. Fuck you. All right? Tell me this. Am I bitching to be bitching about this?
Didn't matter. Then he was crying.
Should have
and trying
been
to give the game
Spear
away.
Chucker Studios. It would have made more sense.
So now I guess you're going to say I'm hating with that, huh? That's what you're going to say? Because as far as I'm concerned, you can eat a dick. Don't tell me that, you know, that I'm just hating on the side. I've been trying to tell y'all for how long? I showed y'all the proof before. And now this is where they've gone to. From bigotry to racism, as we've seen before. I told you they were bigots and racist. And it was just, oh no, you're just having talking points of a certain side. Bullshit. Bullshit. See it for what it is. I'm tired of y'all defending these dudes because you like them. That's bullshit. They're showing you their true colors. But there's more, all right? Because some of these dudes try to come out and let me explain. Get the fuck out of here. There's no explanation. And I'm tired of these dudes saying something really bad multiple times, all the time, and then they gotta make videos saying, let me explain. No. No. All right? All they want you to do is click on these shit so they can get more money. They don't really care. Court has done this a number of times. That was the entire point before when I talked about Melonie Mac, how she defended him on that. Well, if you look at my video with him, you'd understand it more. No. No. And I'm tired of giving these people a pass. You have to earn your second chance. You just don't give it to them. But I'm wrong. I'm the one that's fucked up, right? It's not the people who are saying these comments. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let's move on. Because we got some more to talk about. For those who don't know, Melonie Mac. We're back on her again because once you think she can't do something more stupid, she does. Okay? So let's get to it. Melonie Mac says that she wants to get the perverts out of gaming and all this lewd, seductive stuff should go. We can make games that doesn't have anything to do with that. Now here's the thing. They don't have any credibility pretty much. Now, that's what she's saying. And she's talking about the First Ascendant. All right? That's what she's talking about. But what she fails to realize that when she's saying this shit, she's got a big ass, what was it, statue of Lara Croft, or picture, whatever the fuck it is, of Lara Croft. You have to understand this, the thing is small. Of Lara Croft in the background. In the background. You're saying this shit and you have that in the background? You want to talk about hypocrisy? I mean, come on. And she went on Twitter and was talking about how Lara Croft isn't lewd and, you know what I mean, they haven't used anything sensual with her. Really? Really? I guess you weren't around when Lara Croft was really popping, huh? See, this is the thing. She talks about how she's a Lara Croft expert, and people, you know, they just hang on her every word when it comes to Tomb Raider, but yet she didn't know this shit. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like OG. No, she's not. She's been getting a pass for too long. She's not no OG. These people just got caught up in her pretty face and decided to just listen to her instead of listening to fucking facts. That's what it is. But let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. For those who don't know, because she's an OG, all right? That's what people are saying. She's an OG. Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, he comes out and says she's an OG. Yep. Comes out and says she's an OG. Now, for those who do not know, because we're going to take a minute. Stop for a minute here. Milo Yiannopoulos. Those who already know him know what I'm about to get into. Those who don't know him, all right, I'm going to explain. Milo Yiannopoulos was one of the first right-wing people to come in on Gamergate. All right? He swooped in really quickly because he was a reporter and he needed clout and he needed to, you know, get his weight up when it came to reporting. So, he grifted the gamers here. And it was ridiculous the way he grifted us. All right? But when you tried to fight him back then, people were just hanging on his every word too. Now, he says that Melonie Mac is an OG. All right? Melonie Mac, decides she wants to give him virtual hugs. That's what is going on, right? For those who know what I'm talking about with Milo Yiannopoulos, those who don't, understand very quickly, he's a piece of shit. Why? Because he's a pedophile apologist. That's right. Not only that, because of his comments about pedophilia, because he was defending him so much, he had to resign from his job. That's where we're at. And that's the dude you want to hug? That's the dude you want. Okay, this is the company you keep. Simply because he gave you a compliment. That's where you rush into. Okay. This is where we're at now. This is where we're at. But if you haven't heard exactly what Melonie Mac is trying to convey here about getting rid of the perverts and getting rid of sexy women, it kind of sounds something like we heard already before, isn't it? Yeah, I think we've heard this one.
Predictably, the internet is now infested with gamers' screen captures with various ways that they got Bayonetta naked. As if this pornographic, overly sexualized, animated representation isn't bad enough, the way that Bayonetta restores her power is by sucking on a lollipop.
They're one and the same, if you have not realized by now. And let me say this also, okay? Anita went from my sexism to what? Violence in video games. Games being too violent. Doom is too violent. What the fuck you expect? It's Doom. Remember, you gaming expert? You would know this if you played the games. But no one called her on that either. I find that very funny. Like I said, when you call these people on shit, they duck. You know what I mean? If you're big enough, maybe they'll say something to you. Maybe. They're not dealing with the Denzians, as they would say. It's ridiculous, man. And she went, like I said, she shifted from sexism to violence in video games. What do you think Melonie Mac's going to do? Get into the grift. Because that's what it is. Just said, Anita said it. Jonathan McIntosh said it. Oh, all these people were cheering when it came to, people being beheaded and stuff. It's like, dude, do you not understand what's going on? But if Melonie Mac can get away with the Christian part, of course her values will automatically shift from sexism to violence. It will, because of her values. Now, let me say this first. She's not a fucking Christian. She's faking it. And I say this due to the fact that she only uses certain scripture, all right, to push her bias and her bigotry against people. That's all she does. If you have not realized, she has not used love thy neighbor. No, she's not even used that simple phrase of love thy neighbor. It is absolutely ridiculous that they cause divide and say it's spiritual. Ridiculous. And you know what? She's not the only one. Razorfist. He is such a bitch. I swear to God. He said, what you got against Razorfist? First off, all right, let me tell you that he's allowed. Who the fuck wears sunglasses indoors in 2025? Who does that? What the fuck is wrong with you? But you know what? Let me keep going. Razorfist on Twitter, he is having this holier art thou thing, talking about God and how it's wrong that we can make games without the lewdness, just pretty much parroting what Melonie Mac said. And mind you, I can't respond to him because he blocked me a long time ago. You know what I mean? He blocked me long ago over Elden Ring. Ridiculous. You know what I mean? Stop being such a fucking pussy. But you know what? Here's the thing. He's got skeletons in his closet too, for those who don't know. Apparently, he's a groomer. Apparently, he was dating a 15-year-old when he was in his 30s. I'm sorry, when he was 25. He was 25, okay? A 15-year-old. He was grooming her. And if you don't believe me, here's what the girlfriend said at the time. All right? I'm going to read it out for y'all. It says, hi, I don't really like to indulge in internet drama, especially about my shitty and abusive ex. But yes, I was a teen girl when we started talking. It says, which is how I got into right-wing politics so young. So we already know Razorfist we know that he's right-wing. We know this, okay? But there's more, all right? It says, I was also introduced to things like the movie Lolita, which is why I often would wear dresses. Internet dated all the way back until I was 18. All the way back. All right, but there's more. It says, then I visited Arizona, came back to Illinois, and moved to Arizona quickly after. It says, things were fine at first, but then he started to randomly get mean as fuck. It's burnt into my brain, him calling me things like low IQ troglodyte. It says, it was very nasty towards me, and I did literally everything for him. It says, towards the end of the relationship, I started catching him being sneaky. He had porn addiction. Now, mind you, for those who do not know, he had a porn addiction. He used to get on people for watching porn. Okay? Watching porn. Remember that. So, he had a porn addiction. I actually caught him red-handed one late night, and he was so pissed off. He ended up pushing me hard towards the door. For some reason, he wanted to kick me out. I fell to the ground, and then he pinned me down and didn't let me up in a minute. It says, the next day I was going back to Chicago, and he says, and haven't been back since. That was damn near 3 years ago now. It says, I'm my own woman now. That's all I can say. It says, and the reason for me saying this is because I'm tired of protecting somebody who hurt me mentally and physically, pushing me, spitting in my face, etc. He was a very much an insincere asshole. Have a good day. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. If you don't believe what she is saying, which I don't know why you're not believing what she's saying, but there's more. All right? Let's get to this. Because if you think that's bad, we've got video. That's right. We've got video on it. So, here you go.
Yes, it is.
Okay, then you need to go.
Well, how did you come to that conclusion? That doesn't even make any sense.
Because I am telling you, I don't want you to work that job.
Well, too fucking bad. I have the job and I'm not gonna quit.
Then fuck you. Get out.
No.
Yes.
No.
You realize I could just remove your name from the fucking lease. You don't pay rent.
I don't care. I'm going to go to sleep. I am tired. And that's how it's going to go down. Stare me down all you want. It's not going to work.
What? What isn't going to work?
Staring me down and being verbally abusive.
What isn't going to work?
Not going to work. It's not going to be... If you want me out tomorrow,
no!
I'm out.
You don't say how it ever fucking goes down. Shut the fuck up.
No. I will not. Stop being verbally abusive. It's not going to work.
You are such a fucking pussy. You know that? Because I'll put it like this. You can block me over a comment on Elden Ring on Twitter, but you can get in her face because she came home late from work or went out with friends. You're going to get in her face about it. You're going to push her down when she, in certain situations. You're going to spit in her face in certain situations. What the fuck is wrong with you? See, a lot of these people become narcissists when they get big. A lot of them. It's crazy. But this is the person that people, again, hung on her every word. Every word. He's a fucking pussy. And I wish he would do that to a man. Because he'd get his lights knocked out. Maybe out. Spark the fuck out. Stare her down like you're going to do something. Threaten to take her off the leash so you can kick her out. Like, what kind of shit is that, dude? Because she came home late. And you want her to quit her job. So what? She has no support of her own? Like, she's trying to make money. It's not like she at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? Doing things. Like, come on, man. You kidding me? She gonna do what she gonna do. And that's why she's standing up. If she had no job and she was dependent on you, then you would be controlling her every little move. And then still threaten to kick her out and all this other shit because she has no place to go. Or no money to even go somewhere. But nah, she stood up to you. And that's what she should have did. Because you're a fucking coward. Unreal. Let's move on. Pathetic. And I say this because, like I said, the internet is saying till 15, till she got to 18. Just to let y'all know on that one. Alright? So, groomer. Anyways, let's move on to John Del Arroz. he comes out and says, and it's funny because all these people come out of the woodwork and says, you're trying to bully Christians out of gaming. I don't see where anyone's bullying Christians out of gaming. See, this is what happens when you don't take accountability or any type of responsibility. Look, y'all started that God stuff. Y'all started pushing your morals onto the gamers. You started asking for censorship. You started talking and telling gamers they're perverts and calling them a bunch of names. Gamers didn't bother you. They're not pushing it out. They're saying fuck you to your morals because you're trying to act, again, holier than art thou. So yeah, it's not pushing gamers out. They're not trying to be bullies. No, you start this fight, now catch the backlash of it. It's that simple. It's absolutely ridiculous these people do this. But he's saying, you know, we're pushing gamers and you know what? You can never get rid of us because our God was tortured and put on the cross. And if we can deal with that, then we can deal with a couple comments online. Okay. Okay. All right. Then his next tweet, as I'm putting up right now, you can see where he talks about how gamers, still shouldn't try anything. And he's talking about how another person, how can you be for this and be anti-woke? See, this is the goalpost being moved. It's the goalpost being moved due to the fact that now it's gone from being Christian and being God-fearing man to anti-woke and woke. Do y'all understand now? Do you understand? This is absolutely ridiculous. And people like him shouldn't be in the gaming community. Not because he's Christian, all right, but because he's a divider. That's why. And I don't give a shit who he is. I don't give a shit who they are. Razorfist, Melonie Mac, this clown, whoever. They start acting like that shit, get them out of here. Pushing Christians out like we're being bullies. No, you acted up. Now, there's some consequences to it. It's really that simple. So, John Delaraz, let me see this. All right, let me say this. All right, people, I want you to pay attention to this part. Because this person who's a God-fearing man, right, and he's Christian, and his God was strong, and that's what will keep him going, right? And then starts to do the woke, anti-woke thing. Guess what? This guy who's holier than art thou has a record. That's right. You want to know what he did? He beat his wife. That's what he did. And as you can see right here in the report, she decided to get a restraining order against him because of it. So now we have a wife beater trying to tell everyone else how they should act. Like, you can't make this shit up. You can't. It's absolutely crazy. Damn. So the Christians are coming for us and telling us to censor our games. Just like the government tried to do that. You know, certain Congress people and all that tried to, censor our games. So here's a video for y'all that shows that they're still going to try and censor your games, try to get rid of violent video games.
We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately.
Before all y'all get on me about, oh, he's dragging Trump into this, he's on one side. Like, dude, what you want me to say? He said that shit. He said it. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Now, let me say that this video is from 2019. Okay? So we don't know what his stance is now, but he hasn't so far come out and said anything about his stance this time. Okay, if he still believes it or not. However, something tells me he still believes it due to the fact that he wants to get rid of violence, and we know that when it comes to being God-fearing, and he's run his election on that. All right, being God-fearing, and we need to restore the Christian church, and he's going to start trying to put Bibles back in schools and stuff like that. Something tells me that his stance has not changed. Okay? So, with that said, we all know that they're coming for our games again, and you got to take up arms. Get ready to defend, because we have to deal with the Christians, then we have to deal with the political pundits. Look, y'all have to understand, we have done this before. Mario, back in the 80s, was considered too violent for its time, because Mario was jumping on heads. You know what I mean? On Goomba's heads, and parents didn't like that. They thought it was too violent because of it. Okay? And they had a big deal over it. All right? They protested Mario over it. All right? So, with that said, also, we have to look at Grand Theft Auto. We saw all these people pour all these copies of Grand Theft Auto on the ground and steamroll them and carry on. And I put it like this. Fuck Take-Two. Fuck all them. All right, Rockstar. They did this to themselves. We know the history of it by now. We know that they hired a guy, a PR guy, to do this. To sell it as in, oh, this game is too violent, which will make kids really want to play it and make parents nuts over it, and it'll be a big rave about it. We've seen that. They created their own drama. But of course, it fell back on us gamers because they say, oh, now we're killers and it's a murder simulator and all this kind of other bullshit. You know what I mean? That comes with it. So us gamers took the hit on that. Not one time has Rockstar come out and say, you know what? Leave them the fuck alone. It was always been, our product is not to, be about that. Yeah, your product. Fuck your product at that point. Come out and say it to the consumer who bought your fucking game. But they don't do that. They don't do that. But as we know, it went to the Supreme Court. Violent video games in general went to the Supreme Court, and violent video games won because you can't take away their constitutional right. You can't do that. So now we know. So now you see these days them just blame video games for everything. Mass shooting, blame video games. What's going on, in certain parts of the country has to be video games. Even though they don't have video games, there has to be video games. It's absolutely ridiculous what's going on and what they're trying to do. And they'll just go right to it because it's the popular medium right now. Remember, before it was rap music. Before that, it was metal music. We had Satanic Panic. That's what they're trying to do now with the Christians. I'm telling you now, that's what they're trying to do. And he keeps saying, oh, no, it's not Satanic Panic. That never existed. Bullshit. And I'm telling you now, John De La Roz said that shit. That it never existed. And people had to, the community noted his ass real quick. Real quick. It goes to show you that these are the things that they're willing to do and how far they're willing to go to censor your games and to make sure that the community is torn apart. Because that's what they're doing. It's not saying, hey, have some common sense. They're just saying, no, you should bow and kneel to our demands. Just like the SJWs did. Just saying. Just saying. Everybody wants to rule the world, right? Jeez. Just ridiculous. But let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about one Elon Musk, because we know he's an absolute fucking fraud. Probably fraud of the century. For those who don't know, they said he broke the record for Diablo or whatever, for a while. And people who were Elon men were kissing his ass. Oh, he's so smart. I'm not surprised that it happened. He's a stand-up guy who knows about gamers in the community. It's been such bullshit. So, for those who don't know, Elon Musk has admitted that he cheated in Path of Exile 2. He has admitted that he was account sharing, and they were doing the work for him. Then he gets on his stream and says, look, I can play the game. I'm good at this game. And the experts that played it said, wait a minute. What the fuck is he doing? It doesn't make any sense. Goes to show you this man will cheat and do whatever he needs to be in the gaming community. And he's doing this because he's running this campaign of make video games great again. That's his campaign for it. But it goes to show you they don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's not a gamer. Now, it's okay to, want to get into gaming. He's not saying that. He's not saying, well, I need a little bit of help. I'm interested in gaming and, that's what I want to, focus some attention on. Okay, fine. That's one thing. But when you come out and say, oh, I'm a hardcore gamer and I play all these games and I can, I set records and everything. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You did not do it that quickly. Fuck out of here. I'm not trying to hear that shit. But we have more news. Let's move on from him. Fucking fraud. Alana Pierce. Let's get to it. She comes out and says that gamers, if you're 100% staying online when it comes to, when it comes to video games on Twitter or YouTube or whatever and complaining about video games as opposed to playing video games, then you're not a gamer. That's what she said. I can't tell you how fucking stupid that is. I can't tell you. I mean, come on. She's like, in gamers who pray for video games' downfall. First off, chick, let me tell you, I've been playing video games longer than you've been born. Okay? And let me tell you one thing that's going to happen. Gamers are going to keep doing it because consumers have the right to criticize a game even if they're not going to fucking play it. They have the right to do that. Whether you like it or not. Hell, we saw what happened with DMC Devil May Cry. People were against that. I tore that apart. Why? Because I did my research. I showed the interviews. I showed the videos. And all this before the game came out. I ended up talking to community managers because of it. You know, the people who made the game acknowledged my existence and said, you know what? It's his opinion for doing it if you want to do it that way. They didn't even try to strike me down. They just let it rock. All right? Which I appreciate. Because they knew they were wrong. But freedom of, choice. Freedom of opinion. That's what it comes down to. As a consumer, you are not allowed to tell somebody when they can start gaming. Do I believe that gamers, should game? Yeah, I believe it. I believe that certain people are on the internet just to cause shit. I do believe that. All right? But when you blanket everybody under that, you're a fucking idiot. That's what you are. And this is, I said what I said. Ain't no one scared of that. I said what I said. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care what you said. You gotta be kidding me that you think that this is going to be something that you're going to turn into. You know what? You said it yourself in an example about people trying to game, all right, or not gaming for that matter of fact, because this is what you said.
Are asking for accessibility are not actually asking for an easy mode. That isn't the intent. There are also multiple kinds of disabilities, especially where gaming is concerned. There are long-term disabilities, there are situational disabilities, there are temporary disabilities. It counts as a disability where a video game like Elden Ring is concerned if you have a kid. You have a 2-year-old, you're trying to play Elden Ring, you can't pause. That is a situational disability that you have, where the game not having the option for you to be able to pause, for example, is a hindrance for your particular disability, a situational disability. You may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork into a socket.
And to think you thought this shit would fly. Situational disability. Look, if your kid is running around, your 2-year-old or whatever, guess what? You shouldn't be playing video games. That's the case. Watch your kid. That's all you gotta do. Play with your kid. That's what you can do. Not say, I'm gonna get this Elden Ring in and play one of these hardest bosses. Oh shit, you're doing something. Well, I just gotta put the game down and get mauled. You know what I mean? No. You have to watch your kid. You don't play video games. And that's a part of growing up. That's what it is. That's what we come down. Look, man, I'll put it like this. When people try to make up this situational disability bullshit, it pisses me off. It really does. That is not a situational disability. You know what that is? It's called get off the fucking game and deal with your kid. That's not a disability. Not a disability. You're making it an excuse. That's what it is. But imagine if someone is a gamer and they don't get a chance to play for a long time, but they got a chance to fire that tweet off. They got a chance to see that trailer. And they're saying, oh shit, I don't like what I see. And they comment on it and say, you know what? Fuck this game. I hate this game already because of what I've seen online. I've seen the gameplay. I don't like it. I've seen the trailer. I don't like it. I've seen all this shit and I keep getting this information on my feed. I don't like it. I hope it fails. People are allowed to feel that way. But who are you to say that that person who's been gaming for so long, I mean so long, and now has to take care of a family, now you're going to sit here and say that, they're not gamers. Get the fuck out of here. Said what I said. Man, please. What is wrong with these people? I don't... Look, if you got family, I understand. You got to deal with it. You know what I mean? You got stuff to do. You can't really game that much. I understand that. Clearly, she doesn't because she's a fucking idiot. But, like I said, and that's one of her excuses. I want to give an example. No, that's not an example. That's a fucking excuse. So, with that said, y'all can see all the snakes in the grass. I don't want to hear anyone come to me and talk about, you're a hater. I don't want to hear that shit. I've shown you more than enough, was it enough situations? Situational disabilities? No. I've shown you more than enough proof. Whether it comes to the last video that I did when talking about these people, or this video I did talking about these people. There are a lot of people trying to grift and make money off this community. And it's time for them to stop. They just want fame. Time for that to stop. They want to sit here and tell you how to act. Time for that to stop. When it comes to their morals, time for that to stop. All of it. They want to censor your games. They want to get rid of violent video games. Time for that to stop. I'm just saying, it's time to have a voice. It's time for you to get online. It's time for you to make a video, probably. But if you don't want to make a video, go on Twitter, go on Facebook, whatever. Voice your opinion. That's what you need to do. I'm just saying, speak from the heart. If you don't like something, you don't like something. That's cool. All right? But don't let these people try to dictate if you're a gamer or not. If anything, when it comes to her, she's a tourist. But whatever. We're not going to get on that. All right? But other than that, I wish y'all well. May I say Happy New Year. And we back again. Some bullshit happens again, I'll cut it down again. I'll make sure to come back and chop them off at the knees. Not that hard. They give you all the ammo, so you don't get mad at me. They're providing it. Crazy. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe, man. I'm out.